A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. Namaskar everyone, welcome to Next IAS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to discuss important places जो कि अभी recently news में थी and they are also relevant for UPSC. So without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion with Japan. So friends, recently Japan and India began their first joint fighter jet exercise near Tokyo as the countries upgrade defense and security ties with an eye on China's growing military might, right? Now let's learn some key facts related to Japan. So friends, its capital is Tokyo and it is an island country in East Asia. It is situated in the Northwest Pacific Ocean and it is bounded to the west by Sea of Japan and to the north by Sea of Okhotsk towards East China Sea and to the south by Philippine Sea, Taiwan. As you can see in the map, this is the location of Japan. Now let's look at some political features of Japan. So friends, it is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system of government based on separation of powers. And the role of monarch is primarily ceremonial and prime ministers along with the cabinet wields effective power. Now let's know some geographical features of Japan. So friends, it is a group of more than 6,000 islands that form the country of Japan as well as Russian island of Sakhalin. And its 5 main islands are Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, Kyushu and Okinawa. And Japanese archipelago is 66.4% forest, 12.8% agricultural and 4.8% residential. And friends, Lake Biwa is the largest freshwater lake of Japan. And Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan, which is a dormant stratovolcano that last erupted from 1707 to 1708. And friends, it is a holy mountain in Japan and it is also part of World Heritage List as cultural site. Now, what is stratovolcano? So friends, they are also called composite volcanoes and they are typically steep-sided, symmetrical cones built of alternating layers of lava flows, volcanic ash and other eruptive products, right? Do you know friends, Japan is a part of Ring of Fire. It is a region around much of the rim of the Pacific Ocean where many volcanic eruptions and earthquakes occur. Now let's understand these points with the help of map. So friends, Japan has 111 active volcanoes and it includes Pacific coast of South America, North America, Kamchatka and some islands of Western Pacific Ocean. Now, what is Ring of Fire? So friends, it is a string of underwater volcanoes and earthquake sites around the edges of the Pacific Ocean. And friends, Ring of Fire is a result of plate tectonics. Theek? And do you know friends, Japan and India along with Australia and United States are part of Quad Alliance. And one of the primary objectives of the Quad is to work for a free, open, prosperous and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. Theek? Now friends, let's go to Uganda. Recently, Ministry of Health of Uganda declared the end of Ebola disease outbreak caused by the Sudan Ebola virus that affected 9 out of 146 districts. And do you know friends, under WHO's criteria, an outbreak of disease officially ends when there are no new cases for 42 consecutive days, twice the virus incubation period. Now let's know some key facts about Uganda. So friends, it is a landlocked country across the equator in Eastern Africa bordering Lake Victoria, which is the Africa's largest freshwater lake in the southeast. And Uganda gained independence from Britain in 1962 and its largest city and capital is Kampala. It has population of 34.8 million people, making it the world's second most populous landlocked country after Ethiopia. Now let's learn these points through maps. So friends, Uganda is bordered by South Sudan to the north, Kenya to the east, Tanzania and Rwanda to the south, and Democratic Republic of Congo to the west. Now let's look at the geographical features of Uganda. So friends, its highest point is Margarita Peak. Now let's understand these points with the help of map. So friends, Uganda's Lake Victoria in the southeastern part of the country is the world's second largest inland freshwater lake by size after Lake Superior in North America, although Lake Baikal in Siberia is the larger by volume and depth. And do you know friends, Lake Victoria is also one of the sources of Nile River. Now let's look at some major lakes of Uganda. And its major lakes are Lake Edward, Lake George, Lake Albert and Lake Kyoga and Lake Bissina, right? Now friends, let's go to Peru. It was in the news because recently Peru government has declared a state of emergency in the capital of Lima and three other regions following weeks of protest against President Dina Bolat that have claimed at least 42 people. This is the location of Peru, and do you know friends, Peru is the third largest country in South America with 2400-kilometer coastline in the South Pacific Ocean. As you can see in the map, it is bordered by Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, and Chile. Its capital is Lima, and these points we have already discussed. Now let's understand geographical features of Peru with the help of map. So friends, it is essentially a tropical country with its northern tip nearly touching the equator. It extends along the Andes, which is the world's longest exposed mountain range, and highest peak in the country is Mount Huascarán. And its major rivers are Amazon, Purus, Zurua, etc. And do you know friends, Lake Titicaca is the large freshwater lake in the Andes Mountains on the border of Bolivia and Peru, and it is often called the highest navigable lake in the world. And do you know friends, Cold Peru Current or Humboldt Current flows along its Pacific shoreline, right? Now friends, let's go to Guyana. It is in the news because Guyana expects to soon receive a proposal from India for long-term purchases of South American countries' oil. Friends, as you can see in the map, it is bordered by Atlantic Ocean, Suriname, Brazil and Venezuela, and its capital is Georgetown. It gained independence from the UK in 1966, and it is situated in the central north of South American continent with a coastline at the North Atlantic Ocean. As we have already discussed this point, countries with international borders to Guyana are Brazil, Suriname and Venezuela, and it shares maritime borders with Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. Now friends, let's go to Silent Valley National Park. It was in the news because recently a bird survey conducted at the Silent Valley National Park, and it identified 141 species, of which 17 were new. And this survey marked the 30th anniversary of the first bird survey in the Silent Valley. Now let's learn some key facts about Silent Valley National Park. So friends, it is a beautiful representation of the last remaining rainforest of Kerala, and it was declared as National Park in 1984 and formally inaugurated in 1985. And it is located in the southwestern corner of Nilgiris, and the whole park is roughly rectangular tableland closed on all sides. And friends, it has high and continuous ridges along its entire east, north and northeast borders, and a somewhat lower ridge along the entire western and southern border. And do you know friends, perennial river named Kunthipuza is passing through the western side of the park from north to south direction, finally merging into Bhartapuza. Now friends, what is the meaning of perennial river? Perennial rivers are the rivers that continue to flow throughout the year, right? So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening. Be inspired, give peace and share smile.